You know that feeling when you're just going about your day and suddenly you start thinking about some old toy or a piece of clothing or just some random thing from your past? It's like this little itch you can't quite scratch. Well, that's what we're going to dive into, that powerful feeling of nostalgia, and why the things we remember often feel, well, just so much more special than maybe they really were.
I mean, really think about it for a second. That favorite candy from when you were a kid, that summer vacation you swear was absolutely perfect, our memories, they have this funny way of kind of polishing the past until it just sparkles. And trust me, it is not just you. This is something we all do.
And there's actually a name for it. It's called rosy retrospection. It's this tendency we have to put on these, metaphorical rose-colored glasses when we look back. So let's unpack how this whole thing plays out. We're going to start with a couple of really fascinating stories from childhood.
First up, let's explore how our own imagination can grab a simple memory and just spin it into something way, way grander.
Okay, so in this first story, there's a little girl who loses her doll, Angela. But as she starts telling people about her lost toy, something almost magical happens. In her memory, Angela isn't just a doll anymore. Nope. All of a sudden, she has these fancy coats, extra dresses, even more suitcases. Her imagination is just running completely wild. But then, they find Angela under a pile of leaves. And she's just a simple old doll. No extra accessories, no fancy carriage. That whole grand, elaborate version of her, it existed only in the little girl's mind. It's a perfect example of this rosy retrospection, totally fueled by pure desire.
Now let's take a look at how this exact same impulse, this desire to imagine a better reality, shows up in our adult lives, especially in the world we live in today.
So there's this other really powerful story. It's about a young girl who was teased, just relentlessly, by her classmates. And it was all because she wore the same plain, faded dress to school every single day.
So finally, after being pushed and prodded, she tells them something that sounds, well, unbelievable. She claims that back at home, in her closet, she has 100 beautiful dresses. Of course, nobody believes her for a second. But here's the truth of it. Her 100 dresses were real, just not made of fabric. They were these beautiful, detailed drawings that she had created herself. She built a whole world on paper, really, just to escape the one she was in. And doesn't this just feel a little familiar? I mean, as adults, we might not be drawing dresses, but we so often paint our own embellished pictures of our lives, right? Curating them perfectly in our little social media squares, creating this world we want everyone else to see. And this modern habit of curating and comparing our lives, it leads us right down a rabbit hole of manufactured desire, which, naturally, brings us to a much, much deeper question. Just think about it. The way marketing and social media are designed, it's all meant to make us feel like we're missing something. We just scroll, and it's so incredibly easy to start thinking your life isn't as beautiful or as successful or as exciting, you could just fill in the blank, as someone else's. Now, this is where our source material offers a really different perspective. It pivots from psychology to scripture to challenge this whole endless cycle. It suggests maybe we should be focusing on a completely different kind of treasure.
So, what does that even mean, to redefine our riches? How are we supposed to live in a world that's just screaming more, 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 while still holding on to what actually matters?
This really gets to the heart of the conflict, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the worldly view. Value is measured in stuff, possessions, status, how many likes you get. And on the other side, there's a spiritual view where the real currency is kindness, love, peace, and dignity.
These are the kinds of lasting things the Source encourages us to go after. Because, unlike worldly treasures, these can't fade or rust or be stolen. They're qualities of the heart, of our character.
The text points to the example of the virtuous woman from Proverbs. Her value isn't just in her fancy clothes, but in the fact that she is clothed in strength and dignity. She's not anxious about things. She can actually laugh at the future because her real wealth is in her preparedness and her own peace of mind. The author actually shares a personal connection to this idea through her love for white garments. For her, they aren't just clothes. They're a symbol of something much deeper, a reminder of peace, of purity, and the promise of a place where there's no sorrow or crying.
And, as she adds with a bit of humor, a peace that doesn't include the sudden, painful surprise of stepping in a fire ant bed, which is a great little reminder that even our most romantic ideas still have to deal with reality.
Okay, so how does all of this connect back to that nostalgia itch we started with? Let's bring it all together.
So let's go back to that question. When you feel that pull, that longing for something from your past, what is it that you are truly, deeply missing?
Is it really the object itself, or is it what that object represents? Maybe it's a time when life just felt simpler. Maybe it's a feeling of hope or security that you feel like you've lost along the way. Or could it be a connection with someone you really miss?
The source offers this really beautiful insight. Perhaps the thing we're all longing for isn't a thing at all. Maybe what we really miss is a past version of ourselves. You know, the person who had their whole life ahead of them.
So, the real point is this. Our longings, our desires, even our nostalgia, they often point us toward something so much deeper than just material things. They point us toward our basic, fundamental human need for connection, for love, and for meaning. And those are the treasures that truly last forever.